Yo, this is Jordan Young Treadway with Aqua flies, and we're going to be tying up one of my signature flies, the Jackmans. First off, how we're going to start this bad boy off with is we have a 1/4 inch of junction tubing. Actually, this is about a 1/2 inch of junction tubing. Who am I kidding? We're going to take about a 3/4 inch of some Aqua flies flexi tube. We're going to take a lighter and we're going to bevel the edge of that bad boy. And then we're going to get the party started, right? Boom. Perfect. And then you're going to grab your junction tubing. You're going to take the tube and you're going to slide that up in there. The reason for burning the end of the tube creates a little ferrule or a little bevel on the end, and that's going to be like a lock point that you can lock your junction tubing down. Like this fly a lot. You can tie it in 1,000 different color variations. And here's an example. Got black, pink, and chartreuse. Got like the Laker boy over here, the gold and purple, some white undertone. Got everyone's favorite, the black and orange and copper. Boom, boom. Oh shoot, keep going on. Got some orange and pink, the blue cone on it. And then nice one that one of my buddies tied up right here. Boom, boom, pink with a little bit of crystal flash on there. All right, first off, how we're gonna get started with this is I got all my materials here pre-cut, but I'll go over them with you guys. I just got some like pink chenille. You can use whatever you want. You can use dubbing underneath. Anything you need to create a nice little dubbing ball. This one right here is tied with a dubbing ball. And this one right here is tied with some chenille, and you can't tell the difference, so it's whatever you prefer. I use chenille because over these days, tying them up for guiding it makes it a lot quicker, being able to bust out flies, and then you don't got like a whole mess of dubbing all around your desk. First things first is take your thread. I'm using uni thread 6/0. The color don't really matter because it's all going to be hidden, so don't get obsessed with color. Just whatever floats your boat. Lock that down. Give that a nice little snipping. Now I like this fly. I don't know. It's kind of a mixture between like a prom dress and a hobo spay. I like tying flies, so I'm always trying to create something, and this is something that I've kind of like tried to mix a bunch of stuff together, and this is the platform that I came up with. Color variation, size, that's all dependent on what you're going after. Typically, you try to make it sparse so that it moves in the water. The sparser it is, the more the material is going to be able to flow. So, keep that in mind. All right, we're going to lock this down. Move that forward. Give this a nice couple wraps. I try to do 3 wraps with this. 2, 3. So right there, my tube kind of spun on me, so I'm going to push that back on there a little bit. Back this off, cross that, bring it forward. We're gonna lock that down. Perfect. Only purpose for this stuff is to create a nice shoulder. And it creates a nice little hot spot underneath. Good. Good. All right, next, what we're gonna do, grab our flash that we got pre-cut. This is about a 1/4 inch piece of flash, or I would say like, I don't know, shoot, 45 to 50 pieces of flash. And we're gonna end up folding that back over on itself, so double that up. Grab that, take about half that length and do a couple light wraps, 1, 2, and then lock it down on that 3rd one. And we're gonna do it just tight enough to where it holds everything down so that you can kind of fan everything out and make it try to spread it around evenly. Take all this extra stuff from the front, we're gonna even it out over the needle, and then we're going to fold that back. Now don't get wrapped up in having this look all pretty right here. This is gonna be all covered up, so it doesn't really need to look neat. You're gonna even this stuff out right here, and then grab it all and pull it back. Give it a couple more wraps. And I'm going backwards up against that ball to create a nice shoulder right there. Cool. All right, next step. So we've done junction tubing to tube, a dubbing ball, some flash. There's that 2 materials so far. We're gonna take some craft fur. I've had this pre-cut, but I didn't pick it out or anything yet. I wanted to show this to you guys. You're gonna take like a toothbrush, a piece of Velcro or anything, and you're gonna just kind of pick out some of this shorter underbelly fur right here. What that's gonna do is it's gonna kind of leave you with all the long stuff, all the stuff that we want, right? Take that out, throw that away. All right, and then what we're gonna do is I like to tie this in backwards here. Well, first off, let me get my size. How I want to trim off this a little bit. I'm not going to use this whole length. I try to stick to that 2.5 to 3 inch length, right? So that's about 2.5 inches right there. I'm just going to clip off this in the garbage real quick. Beautiful. Transfer this back into my other hand. And then this is a way that I found to tie craft fur down easy. Craft fur is a mess. If you haven't worked with it, it's gonna get everywhere. You can clean the mess up later, right? So I'm gonna pinch this and I'm gonna go backwards. So I'm gonna put it with all my wispy materials towards the front of the fly. Pinch it, slide it over that tube right there, and just not too hard, but just work it back. Grab all that with that hand, and then what you're gonna do is do a couple light wraps. I'm gonna go 1, and on the second one, you're gonna tighten it up right there so it locks everything down. Come through and kind of spread everything out evenly, and then we're going to give that a couple thunks to kind of distribute all the materials evenly. What I like to do is just kind of go boom, bring that thread forward, 1, 2, just to get everything in front. Then I'm gonna take my Aqua disc and I'm gonna place that on backwards and just push everything nice and tight up against that dubbing ball. Nice pressure. Boom, back the thread off and then move it down, lock all that stuff down. Doesn't have to look pretty, it's gonna get covered. And there we go. Got a cool looking fly already, right? At this point, I'm gonna come in with my scissors and I'm gonna cut kind of at a 45-degree angle down, keeping all my flash pulled tight. And what that's gonna do is create an uneven edge so that everything can kind of flow freely. You wanna see some of the flash cut at a diagonal. That's how you know you did it right. All right, next, get all that stuff slicked back. Next, I'm gonna take my Marabou that I've got cut, and I'm gonna say this is kind of like the tip section of a full feather. I'm just gonna take off about 3 inches of that. And I'm gonna grab the tip of the feather and I'm gonna kind of pull down some of these materials to expose the stem for myself. Nice little spot right there. Got all that extra stuff right there, and I'm gonna cut that into a nice little triangle. Catch that, put that in the garbage. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie that triangle down. 1, 2, 3. 3 nice little pressure wraps. 2 for safety. All right. I'm gonna grab some hackle pliers for this one, because if you don't, I have a tendency of breaking it off. I don't really have a steady hand. Hackle pliers help me out. And these are some cheap hackle pliers. I've had them forever. All right, let's get this bad boy locked down. The first couple wraps are, for myself, always look kind of messy, but that's okay because I can end up coming in here and cleaning it up. So what I do is I got 2 wraps in, 2 light wraps in, and I'm gonna pull all this material and I'm gonna slick everything back just to kind of expose the stem. All right, hold everything back, palmer it all back. That's 1, 2, I'm gonna do 1 more just because I can see that I need a little bit more material on this side. I'm gonna do 3. Now there's some extra material that I don't want to use because I don't want to make this fly too full. So I'm gonna back this thread off some, and I'm gonna lock it down right there where I want it to be. And I'm gonna just kind of use my fingers to kind of help entice some of that material to break free. Boom, and I'm working it up. I have a little bit that I'm gonna lock down, but that's okay. I'm gonna lock that down. Cut off the excess. Boom. Pull everything back and you get a couple nice insurance wraps. All right, so we're almost finished up with the fly right now. It looks pretty cool, but I like to add some Guinea on it just to add some depth to the fly. It's pretty contrasty right now, but adding a little bit of Guinea really does a lot. And just a little bit of Guinea, you know, this is just the tip section of a feather. But I'm gonna use both sides. You can use a longer section if you want to rip off one side, but I just tend to use both sides of it. I'm busting these out quick. Should usually take you about 10 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes to tie one of these up. So I do my triangle technique. I'm gonna lock that down, move that forward, take my hackle pliers again, and then I'm gonna get this bad boy. Good little tip is to take the tip of your, your pliers, or take your scissors, your bobkin, whatever you want to, and just run it along the side of the stem. It kind of helps push some of those trapped hairs and free them up, or trapped fibers, whatever you want to call them. What I like to do is I hold the bottom side of the Guinea. I hold that on my first wrap around. Try to get any of this Marabou that's going to get trapped in there. Hold the bottom side down so that it spins right. 1 light wrap around. Palmer all that material back. Make another tight wrap as close to that dubbing ball as you can. Let's see if we can get 1 more half turn. That's perfect. An even 2 turn. Back that off. Lock that down right there. Come in here and clip off the excess of the stem. Perfect. So, all right, we're almost finished up with this fly. Last, 2 steps is add your whip finish like you like. 1, 2, 3. Tighten that up. Do another one. 1, 2, 3. Tighten that up. I'm gonna cut this off. And then there you got it. Almost finished up. Last step that we're gonna do here is add in a cone. A disc, I mean. Pull your material back, slide that over. You're gonna wanna give that a nice little pressure. Now I'm holding my tube so I'm not pushing it back on that needle too far. Give that some nice pressure back. And then what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take this off the needle. So we got this on here still. We're gonna kind of hold all that stuff back where you want it at. Come in here with our scissors, and you wanna give yourself like a 1/16 to 1/4 inch of tube. Cut that off, let it go flying, we'll clean it up later. Take a lighter, burn that tube down just a little bit, Just get it to where it starts rolling back on yourself, and then take a flat edge and come in here and press down up against that tube nice and firm. Roll it around, creates a nice little edge right there for yourself. Come in here with some scissors and clean the opening up. Boom, so you can get your leader in there. That tube's not going nowhere. And there we got it. A Jackman's. So you can fish these for multiple different species. For example, I'm heading up to Alaska this summer to go fish for some kings. And really the only thing that I'm gonna do to change this up is I'm just gonna make it a little longer, a little bigger. I'm not really gonna use too much more materials, but I am just gonna try and make everything a little longer. So maybe I'll try and select a little bit longer of a piece of Marabou, use my flash a little longer, and lengthen that crafter up. Just give a bigger presentation. Now, same thing, like if you want to downsize this, let's say we're going to swing for some summer steelhead, or we're going to swing for some hungry trout. This is going to be another great pattern for that, right? We're just going to downsize it a little bit, give them something to chase. It's flashy, it's got a nice profile, got some depth to it, and then you got the hot spot up front, and you got a hot spot underneath. So even if this fly flipped over, it would still be good. So I got a good story here that really resonates to my heart about the Jackman. And with that being said, I a couple years ago lost my grandfather. It was real dear to me. And went out fishing after work one day, and this is a fly that I have a lot of confidence in, and just wanted to go out and clear my head. So got to my a creek where this was actually named after, and stepped into my favorite run, and was looking through my fly blocks and was thinking, man, what do I tie on? And this fly just stood out to me for some reason. So I tied on a similar, or this pattern but a different colorway, and proceeded to fish down the run. And about halfway down the run, laid a cast out and was just kind of not paying attention, looking off to my right, and seen a bald eagle fly by. And I was like, oh man, that's really sweet. And I went to look at the bald eagle, and right as I was looking away, I felt like my line snag up. And so I'm like, man, what's going on here? Really went to really give it a good heave off that whatever it was snagged up on. And a nice 17, 18 pound hen come jumping out of the water at me, and proceeded to tail walk across the river, ran back down, took me in my backing. And yeah, ever since then, man, I've just had full confidence in this fly. I fish it in a lot of different variations, a lot of different water types, a lot of different species so far, and it's always seems to find fish. One of my favorites. Now that we're wrapped up with the Jackmans, just want to give a shout out to Aqua flies. Go pick up a tube kit on jerryfrenchflyfishing.com. It comes with everything that you need to tie one of these up. Comes with a needle, some tubes, some junction tubing, some dumbbell eyes, a couple cones in there for you. Get you everything you need to tie up some flies. Even tie up a couple Jackmans. So yeah, get out there, get a line wet, go catch some fish.